What's up, Paul? This is going to be a very brief demo video for you for your master chassis or your Goth master chassis for your KR Sabers Fortis. I don't have the Saber, as you know. It is with Nick over at NG Sabers doing a custom etch job for you, which I'm sure is going to turn out amazing. This particular setup, though, you don't need the Saber, obviously, to do the install. One thing that you will need to do, and it's going to be included in your box, so before we go over the actual master chassis, is you've got this upper piece right here. It has your two switches on it. One's going to be a power, the other one's going to be a negative. You've got your stock B4 blade connector right here. It does have the lens cap on it. Sometimes I do not like using these lens caps, but I went ahead and I put it on there anyway. If you can see up against my finger, those pins are barely poking out. There is enough recess in this piece, though. If you find that you're having some trouble connecting your blade to these pins, you can pop this lens cap off. But I did make sure all the pins are poking out, so you shouldn't have any problems there. All right. Hard for me to test because I don't have the Saber, and as much as you may want to take this and put it together and make it light up, do not do that. If these pins are off on these tracks at all and you go to try to light this Saber up, you're going to fry something. So very important, right? Don't try to turn this on without it being in the Saber. But this will slide into the upper half. It'll slide right into the switch section. You've got some rails here for the different screws that are going to be in the actual Saber. It only goes in one way, but of course you're going to want to make sure that this is pointing out towards the emitter, and that this rotary pin PCB is in the back, because that is what connects to your chassis right here. All right, so that will be in your box. This is your master chassis. So you sent me the kit. I just wired it up for you. Your battery holder, or your battery cover rather, is on magnets. So you pop it up and it has a hinge right in the middle. All right, then this is the provided battery that I'm going to leave in it, but you can come over here and take it out with your finger, and that's what the inside of your battery compartment looks like. So there's no wires there. We'll put that back in. Please remember when putting in the battery that the positive side of your battery, which is right here, it goes towards this PCB. All right, and then there are a total of 4, 8, 16 magnets holding that guy closed, so it's not going to fall open on you. All right, coming over here, let's go right here. This is your crystal chamber. It also has 2 magnets that are holding it closed, so we can open this door up. I'll light that up here in a second, but you have the crystal that came with the chassis, so you can open that at any time and have a nice reveal. You've got a rotating plasma gate there. And then when you close that, it stays closed as well. All right. For board access, you've got this guy right here. So your board cover is also on magnets. You can open that up, and that's the hinge section right there. That gives you access to your SD card and your micro USB. You will need a 90-degree data cable that looks exactly like this. Let me put this down and try to focus on this real quick. So this is what you need. This is the one that I use for my builds all the time. It is specifically designed for that type of connector. It's the only one that will fit because I did glue the board down to the shelf. All right. As I'm looking at it right there, your USB is poking out. You may be tempted to try to connect it that way. Don't do that. Just go ahead and open it like this and connect from right there. All right. I did put an extra Neopixel strip on top of the board because that came with the kit. So when you're done, you just close that. That has 2 magnets that hold it closed. You've got a KR Sabers 22mm speaker. And over here, you've got a 10-pixel accent strip underneath these holes. And then on the other side, you have another 10-pixel accent strip. If you look closely, you can actually see the LEDs poking out. All right, so for right now, it just has my sound font on it. There is a copy of the config file on the SD card. I went through and I named every blade style for you. So there's a total of 4 blade styles. You'll see there's 2 brackets. It'll say blade, and then that blade style. And then one will say crystal. That's the crystal. And then one will say chassis LEDs, or I think it says LED strips. That is these 2 strips together right here because they're wired together. And then the fourth and final blade style is a very short one that is for your motor on your plasma gate. So no matter what fonts that you put on here, you're going to want to keep that particular blade style and just copy it over. All right. As far as the LEDs on the board are concerned, you don't need to worry about programming them. I wired them in line with these, but it looks as if it's a separate blade style because the strip is shorter. So you have a kill switch right here. We'll just come flip our switch. So let me grab my tweezers. I do have these on a timer. As you can see, you've got kind of the kit scanner going on right here. Your crystal is pulsing. You've got your LED strips on your board, right? You do have a extra tactile switch right here. In the directions, it says to wire it up as an auxiliary switch. I went ahead and I wired it up as a power switch because I don't like to put twist on Sabers. All right, so we'll hit that switch. You'll probably need a tool or something to do that because it's pretty low profile in there. But your LED strips will start ramping up. You can see your rotating plasma gate. Your LED strips on the back of your board. Some good flash on clash. Everything reacts to the flash on clash. All right, we can come over here and open up that crystal chamber. You can get a better look at your crystal and your rotating piece. Close that back up. And do a twist off. I do like to put twist off on all my Sabers though, so you do have that function. All right, and then it will go back to what it was doing before we turn it on. And then to turn it off, we just simply flip the kill switch, and now everything is off. All right, that is pretty much it. I can't put it in a Saber. I don't feel 100% comfortable sending it off without a Saber to test it in, but I'm pretty confident. Like all of this is the hard part right here, and it all functions as it should. This piece right here is pretty straightforward. So as long as you get it in there where it's supposed to be, everything should be fine. On here, your front switch on your actual Saber will be auxiliary and your back switch will be power, because you'll notice when you get that Saber, your power button is a lot bigger than your auxiliary button. So that's why we did that. All right. So this can pretty much only go in one way. So it's really hard to mess that up. If you need any help, reach out to me when you get your Saber from Nick. I'm happy to just walk you through this. But anyway, that is your master chassis. Thank you very much for your patience. I got this on January 31st. I'm not used to getting chassis without the Sabers. So my initial thought, I was in autopilot. My initial thought was I won't touch this until I get the Saber. And then it was a couple weeks into having this before I realized, wait a minute, I don't need the Saber. So I just went ahead and got this done for you today. But you never reached out to me once and asked me about it. So I appreciate you and your patience. And let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.